Many of my analysis videos are several years old now, which means that they could become obsolete as the game changes. Just as well they're for CSGO, a game that doesn't get updates anywhere near as often as you think it should. But still, I'm aware that some of my older videos may be out of date by now and require retesting to see if things have changed, though this often requires you guys to call out something that seems a bit suspicious. For instance, recently a pro player boasted about a magical config that lets him see through flames, something that's usually shrouded in black smoke. It's not exactly a lot to go on. Tarek recorded his screen with a potato and uploaded it to Twitter. It's a miracle there's any video left at all. But from what there is, there doesn't seem to be any smoke at all. It could be that he's upped the contrast, saturation, and this combined with the potato recording gives the impression that there's no smoke. The flames in Tarek's videos looked pretty garish, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was using some kind of post-process filter. A recent one is Nvidia's Freestyle. I wasn't able to get it working in CSGO until I opted into the beta version of GeForce Experience. It lets you add a load of effects to games. It's powerful stuff. You're probably used to third-party programs letting you up the contrast, saturation, and gamma. Freestyle simply gives you more options, letting you turn CSGO into a neon dream if that's what you want. From what I've seen, these are still just post-process effects. That means it can only adjust what you're seeing already. Bit like how you can't enable wallhack on a pre-recorded video of CSGO. You can't use these effects to see through stuff that you couldn't normally, but it can be used to enhance what you can already see. For example, upping the brightness will help you to distinguish between darker colours more, at the expense of grouping brighter ones together. Might still be useful if you have a dark screen or struggle to make out details and shadows. The likes of Freestyle simply gives you more control. Its HDR toning setting will let you brighten shadows whilst retaining detail in the brighter areas. You can sharpen the image to create more contrast between different colours, which may make enemies pop out from the background more. This is detail that was already there, but may just make it easier to see. Likewise, as long as smoke is a bit see-through, the correct settings in this program will help the see-through bits stand out more from the smoke that you can't see through. Which settings work best depend very much on the specific situation you find yourself in. You can be the judge of whether you think it helps see through the fire smoke in this comparison here. Has science gone too far? Is this an unfair advantage? And if so, then what about screens with fancy options in HDR that serve a similar purpose? Should those be banned? Also from Tarek's clip, it's a bit strange how the middle flames suddenly disappear rather than to fade out at varying heights. I tried all kinds of combinations of texture, shader, effect, quality and so on, and couldn't repeat this exactly. It's as though certain flame particles aren't being drawn at all. Maybe he's found some obscure console or launch command. I can't imagine he would have messed with the game's files since that would have been bordering on cheating. But there is another, more sinister possibility. I know that in the past, certain settings in the Nvidia control panel, when run at the same time as third-party software, has led to bugs that serve as wall hacks. Although I suspect they're already aware, I did pass this on to Valve and remained quiet about it on this channel because I don't want to be responsible for a flood of people abusing it in matches. But if there genuinely isn't any smoke in Tarek's recording, then it could be something similar, and he should probably let Valve know, as it would be a bit dishonest to play with a bugged game that gives you a definite advantage. As it stands, there are ways of making smokes more see-through simply by using CSGO's in-game options, which I'm sure that nobody will judge you for. So it turns out that if you keep effects and shaders on high, then you can see through the black smoke better at a distance. If you lower at least one of these settings, then you can see through it up close. This hasn't changed in the 3 years since my previous video on the topic. So for once, my video from 2015 holds up nicely. Problem with Tarek's video is that it's at a distance where, regardless of the setting you choose, there should at least be some smoke. And yes, I did try with both a Molotov and incendiary. Both are the same. This is one case where my old video remains relevant. But even if it wasn't, I think I'd still keep the old video up, maybe adding outdated to the title or something. Please let me know if this needs doing on any of my existing videos. I do often forget about the older ones. Plus it may sometimes require a rigorous retest to confirm that things have indeed changed. But I'd like to keep the old ones up anyway because I think it serves as a nice archive of CSGO's history. Who knows, in 10 years time maybe we'll find it interesting to look back nostalgically at older videos, where CSGO still adds source graphics and scaleform UI. Or who knows, maybe nothing will have changed.